tell the people who you is, and give them like a little brief history of your story and stuff like that before we get started, man.
My name Edward Irvin Harris. I'm from rural Louisiana, uptown. It depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
I was sentenced to death when I was 19. I did the total of 23 years. Seven of those I spent on death row. My charge stemmed from my sister-in-law and her boyfriend. Me and her boyfriend had some dealings or whatever, and he knocked on my mama door and told my mom he gonna kill me when he see me, and I killed him the next day.
Like I've been dancing with the devil, I ain't living right. She asked for coke, I gave her dope, now I got a customer for life. Yeah.
He tried to use he did use my sister-in-law as a shield, and I wound up hitting her one time in her back, and killed her, which is total accident. I love her, may she rest in peace tomorrow. Our family knew, with that side our family knew,
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part, my case revolves around racism. It has multiple sides. It has really a forgiving side dealing with my sister-in-law and our family, and our relationship even to this day. I don't give a fuck about Mr. Gardner or his family. His mom, his dad, none of them, and I always say that, and I always stress that fact. And I say that because, to break it down, me and his dad had before I even got the death penalty, we used to talk and stuff in court. He'll come, ask me to, just keep praying it's gonna be all right. Even when he testified, he was like, y'all want me to get up here and say I want IRVIN with the death penalty and this and that. He said, but I can't say that. He said, they found my son with a gun and drugs on him. IRVIN still was self-defense. I wasn't there. He said, you raise your kids up one way and they turn out to be something else, and that's what came with it. So, but, 16 years later, he came to where first my mom had went to go and see, his mom and dad after the trial. And my mom was just on some shit like, we both parents, we lost, children or whatever. And she was talking to his dad, it was cool. Then his mom and his sister came. And his mom told my mom, like, you gotta go. So my mom, like, I just came, to talk, we both, lost children. So his mom told my mama, when you get to go see your son, in jail, I gotta go see my son in the grave. And my mama said, well, damn, I gotta go see my son in jail because your son tried to put him in the grave. She said, well, you should have let him put him in there so I could be going to see him in jail. When I got the death penalty, at the end of the day, I was raised right, regardless of, how I got into the streets or whatever. And, when I got the death penalty, I wrote his parents just on some shit like, y'all lost his son at the end of the day. So I empathize with that part of it. They never wrote back. The sister wrote back, telling me, fuck me. She can't wait till they cut my fingers off, starting off with the fingers that I killed her brother with, and all that type of dumbass shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel about him. Because at the end of the day, y'all sit through 3 trials. My defense never changed from start to finish. It never changed. You know what I'm saying? So to sit through 3 trials and still feel as though, then come to my parole hearing 16 years later, and then tell the people, I still shouldn't be home. So I'm like, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? I stand on that. You know what I'm saying? The people on the other side of this camera, I tell them the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And I ran into his post since I've been home. Like literally. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't hold nothing against him. I just feel like fuck him. Like at the end of the day, a lot of people have to realize there's no in between in life. You know what I'm saying? It's black and white. It ain't no gray area and all that shit that we was brought up believing. It ain't none of that shit. It's black and white. It is or it's not. You know what I'm saying? And to me, and for you to be interviewing me about, somebody, how I got the death penalty, what led to me getting sentenced to death and why, and to tell you, man, yeah, bro, dude knocked on my arm, do it to my mom, you gonna kill me. For to get up there and tell you, man, I'm so sorry I done that, man, that'll be some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That'll be some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? With my whole case in general. You know what I'm saying? I'm the first ex-guilty death row offender. You know what I'm saying? I never shied away from what happened. You know what I'm saying? They knew he knocked on my mama door. They knew all that. You know what I'm saying? But dealing with Jefferson Parish is a real racist parish. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Their jury selection process comes from Harahan, Metairie, Gretna, and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And during the course of, we had to when I filed my appeal, we attacked them on a racist issue, which was the district attorney Kerry Morgan. She was striking all the blacks. You know what I'm saying? And out of jury pool, like out 400, I only had like 8 blacks anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So she's striking them and she knocking all of them off. So my lawyer objected, like, damn, what's happening? So she like, well, I'm striking Mr. Russell Brown because he the only single black male on the panel, and I don't want him relating more to the states, to the defense case than the state.
Mm-hmm.
And the judge still denied it. You know what I'm saying? But we wound up getting help from the NAACP, the ACLU. You know what I'm saying? And to actually see, like, I've been trying to get the old footage of it. You know what I'm saying? To see, like, these people out here for me. These people in front of Jefferson Parish Courthouse for me. You know what I'm saying? Because of what Jefferson Parish done to me. You know what I'm saying? Anytime, y'all know this dude knocked on my mama, dude. Y'all know he came around there with guns. Y'all know he had a gun when y'all found him. He had a gun and crack on him when y'all found him. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, I went to trial 3 times. The first trial, I got the 2 death penalties. I won a new trial on the racist shit. On Bassett versus Kentucky. My case, State versus Harris superseded State versus Bassett versus Kentucky. Nobody had one on a case in like over 65 years before I had one. And I had a mistrial. In 2006. The district attorney had been lying, saying that he had the gun that the dude had on, and he really had lost the gun. So I wound up winning the mistrial, and instead of them reducing it as they were supposed to do to manslaughter, because it's like I busted them cheating. You know what I'm saying? Because they had meetings even before we started picking the jury. The judge asked him, did he have the gun? He said, yeah, I got it. He said, I got everything. I'm ready to go to trial. And we started picking a trial. We started picking the jury. Then come to find, like the judge like really went off on him. Like, man, you wasted everybody's time in there, man. I told you don't do that. And like, so they granted me the mistrial. So in 10, I went back to trial on 2 counts of first-degree murder. They found me guilty on manslaughter and negligent homicide. And I had, 16 years credit in at the time. You know what I'm saying? And by me being under the old, even I went to trial in 2010, I still was under the 1994 law. You know what I'm saying? It still applied to me. So I was still doing half of my time on one of the sins, and on the negligent homicide, I was doing they had changed the law again to that, to like 110 or some shit like that, and I wound up doing that. But even when I got sentenced, I was a first offender. I had no convictions. The 2 death penalty was my only conviction. And when I won the manslaughter, it's like by me being a first offender, the law clearly states that the only way that a first offender receives a maximum concurrent sentence, a maximum consecutive sentence for the worst case, offense. Yeah. And being that my offense was manslaughter and this individual had made threats against my life, it wasn't the worst type of offense. You know what I'm saying? So from a sentencing range of 0 to 40, how the fuck y'all go straight to 40 just off the street of them having a gun? You know what I'm saying? Just off the street of having a gun, it could have been 34. But I was blessed anyway. Even having the 6 years left coming from 2 death penalties, so I wasn't tripping, but I wasn't gonna lay down and not fight either. You know what I'm saying? So even after that, they maxed me out. You know what I'm saying? Ran consecutive, gave me 40 year sentence and a 5-year sentence. They gave me 40 for Mr. Gordon, and they gave me 5 years for Tamara Frazier. May she rest in peace. I love her.
Yeah.
And then, even at the end of that sentence, it's like, I probably had like some months left. The same district attorney that I beat in the trial come back and come charge me with a conspiracy to obstruction of justice. You know what I'm saying? For some shit, dealing with my son. You know what I'm saying? And he tried my son. He gave my son too light sentencing bad. My son trial was strictly about me, who his daddy was, and all this type of shit. You know what I'm saying? But we had to get into that another time because he's still going through some shit with his appeals and stuff.
Okay. I wanted to ask you, like I wanted to see like the whole picture, so I wanted to get it like lead up into it. So, what happened like on the days leading up to October 14th, 1994, bro? And like, what got you in this situation?
You mean what actually happened as far as like
the whole?
It was really about some coke. You know what I'm saying? A quarter brick of coke. You know what I'm saying? Somebody I was fucking with had switched it, and I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? And when it got back to him, I was the one he was looking for. It really ain't had nothing to do with me, but I'm the one he looking for because, it was my name on it. You know what I'm saying? So one thing led to another. I was on some shit like, because the dude who had done this shit, he had dipped out. You know what I'm saying? I ain't about to run. I fuck with him, but I don't fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? He family, but I don't fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? He fuck with my brother, but he family. He could, he know everything, but I just, I never called him, be like, man, come on, man, let's go somewhere. But just this particular day, he was around, and he knew, he knew everything else. My brother had went to jail and all this shit, so he's the only one around with me for to go and make the play. But when he got it, he not telling me nothing, and the dude wound up coming behind me. I'm on a motorbike. He wound up coming behind me, and I dipped out. So when I called him, like, man, what's up? He like, man, I gave that nigga some powder milk. I'm like, what? He's like, man, fuck that nigga. This dad not a boy. At that point, it was, it was done already. And even at that, I was still trying, like, man, you can come get this bread. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, that shit ain't nothing, man. I blow that shit like every fucking week, fuck. Yeah. So he's like, oh, man, fuck you, and I'm like, yeah. And I just, I left it at that. And I really was like, by me knowing he not really living like that, I'm like, man, this nigga pussy popping out to like, but I'm studying, because we got like a mutual associate. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We got like a mutual associate. And I'm like, man, let dude know, man, this ain't got nothing to do with him. Like, he just need to get out the way. So, when he putting guns to my little partner, he looking for me like, like he living like that. So I just really avoided the shit. I just avoided this for a minute.
So they said that they had switched the coke with some Bisquick in the papers, man. Yeah. How long did it take for him to realize, and how long did it take for him to start threatening you? And
that's that's what I'm saying. It's like when it first, like the same day it happened. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The same day it happened, but me not wanting to throw dude under the bus. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, look, let me holler at my people. I'm gonna get back with you because I don't, I'm just telling him the shit bad. I'm not throwing, homie under the bus. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, look, let me just, I'm hollering at my people. I'm gonna fuck with you. Like, which I was gonna give him the coke or the bread. You know what I'm saying? Whichever he wanted. I was just trying to see what this nigga here was gonna do. So, like, the shit like went up instantly. But like I'm saying, like, I wasn't running, I wasn't hiding, or none of that. You know what I'm saying? And it just started getting out like, man, dude looking for you, man, dude and them running around looking for you, dude going by this one house looking for you. So I'm like, hold up.
Want to make money with a YouTube channel, man, go over to hotboyjesse.com, get the course, read over the course. I tell you everything that you need to know for YouTube. Then once you get the course, I'm gonna show you how to make a video, how to edit. I'm gonna show you how to do keywords, research, titles, tags, descriptions. I'm gonna show you how to upload, when to upload, everything to get views and big money.
Time out, cause he pussy popping and all this. These niggas not even living like that. So I'm not even really, it's not no pressure I gotta really apply. Cause I'm really still trying to, cause I'm I do business straight up. So I'm really still, and even in this, I'm still trying to get this shit straight. You know what I'm saying? But after my partner come like, man, you need to put a gun on my head, talking about if I don't tell him what yet he gonna kill me. I'm like, who? He said, Mister. I said, Mister. All right. And I wind up going by my mama, man. And I open the door. But she opened the door, so she just crying. And she just hugging me, feeling on me. And I pushed her back. I'm like, what's wrong? She like, man, some boys come and say they gonna kill you. I'm like, well, they came here. My mama stayed around white folks. Very few people know where my mama stayed at. So I'm like, they came around here. She like, yeah. I'm like, she like, man, don't let nobody kill you. She like, don't let nobody hurt you. I'm like, man, I ain't gonna let nobody hurt me. And like the next day, like the next day, like about 3:00, I run into that boy. Like, what's up? He reached and I hit him. You know what I'm saying? And he grabbed me.
So I was reading the the paperwork on it, and they try to make it seem like you were stalking him down. They try to make it seem like you was riding through the neighborhood 3 or 4 times a day. How did it get construed like that?
And she lied. Evelyn Williams, she lied. Yeah. She lied. She lied. She lied. Yeah. She lied. She was the dude. She was telling the people that the dude that Mr. was her baby parrain or some shit. You know what I'm saying? And he had just walked from the park with her son and brought him to the house. You know what I'm saying? And brought him home or whatever before he walked down the street or whatever. So, first she said she was in her kitchen and she heard shots. No, she heard something like firecrackers and she looked out the window. Then she seen 2 people fall. She knew they had been shot. Then in another interview, in another statement, she said she was walking down the street and the dude was walking the other way down the street and they waved or some shit. You know what I'm saying? And somebody just pull up in a car and start hitting her. But she lied about that's what gave the premeditation and what you just said. That was the district attorney said I was a predator that day searching for my prey. She said I circled 3 or 4 times and she lied. I just had come outside. Nobody had been in my car that day. None of that. I just had came outside from Harvey. I came outside from Harvey straight up there. You know what I'm saying? Straight that way. It wasn't no, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't no circle, no block. Soon as I got in the project, I saw him. You know what I'm saying? As soon as I got in the project, you know what I'm saying? I seen him. So it wasn't no circle, no block. She lied. You know what I'm saying? And I told her to her face she lied. She lied. She knows she lied. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's so fucked up. It's like you lied on me. You lied on me for whatever reason. And here 2 of your sons get killed in front of your door. Go and kill somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So just like I told, like, man, you got other shit to be worrying about. Man, I've done 23 years. Whatever anybody telling you about me, wanting to harm you, or whatever, man, me harming you is not gonna get that time back. It's too late for that. That shit should have been cleaned up before I even went to trial and all that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't need you, fucking with no negative shit. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that you lied. You lied on me. Fuck you, mad, because I'm out here for you lied. You know what I'm saying? But being that so many people counting me out, a lot of people mad. I don't give a fuck, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Now, they say you turned yourself in 3 days later after the shooting, man. What made you do that? And how did that help you?
Because it's like, see, this something that, you gotta, I've been a thinker. You know what I'm saying? I've been a thinker, especially under pressure. Yeah. And it's like, their offense was my defense. Out the gate, their offense was my defense. You know what I'm saying? Him having a gun, him making the threats and all that, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I didn't, they say 3 days, but see, they didn't put out a warrant. They didn't put out a warrant for my arrest until like the following day. I think that Sunday morning. No, I wasn't warranted right then and that, that same day. You know what I'm saying? When they had went to the hospital, they was asked about dude said dude told the people I shot him before he died.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He told the people, Irvin shot him. And the detective was asking people, who is Irvin? And, Tasha, which is Tamara's sister, was my girlfriend at the time. She was like, I messed with Irvin. And, but she had been calling me too that day. She had been calling, but I never called back. But I, she had told my little partner, like, man, tell Irvin I gotta go to the hospital, come bring me to the hospital. My sister got shot. You know what I'm saying? This is before she even knew, anything. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't talked to nobody. Like, till really, till I got locked up, till I turned myself in. I turned myself in really because my auntie Barbara, I love her to death. You know what I'm saying? I love her to death. You know, when they kicked in her door and 8 other people doors, it's like, you know, she like, man, I don't know about nobody else. She said, man, when people know that boy was trying to kill you, she said, I don't know about nobody else, I'm gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? Turn yourself in, they gonna kill you, Irvin, they gonna kill you. And she met me around here. We went to the we met the lawyer, and I turned myself in, and she was there for me too. The day I went to that day I was with her, October 17th, 1994, and when I come home November 17th, November 1st, 2017, I was with her. And I'm with her now. So you know, as you know, yeah.
Okay, so I want to talk about how long did it take you to go to trial and what was going through your mind, because you were still a young man, you were what, 18, 19. How long did it take you to go to trial and what was on your mind?
The first time I went to trial, I was in a pair probably like 15 months. And it's like, I was young. I was young, I was very, very ignorant of, certain aspects, of the law. And that was my attitude. You know what I'm saying? When I testified, the people said that I was arrogant, I didn't show no remorse, which I didn't. Because I felt like, damn, these people really trying to take my life. Because somebody trying to take my life. And during the course of the 50 months, they never said they were seeking a death penalty. They never said they were seeking a death penalty. They never did. You know what I'm saying? Until I started, picking a jury. And he started picking a jury. Like, well, we find them guilty, we gonna ask y'all to give them the death penalty. Can you do it? So everybody they had picked was already pre-programmed to give me the death penalty anyway. You know what I'm saying? I was the first to get the death penalty. When they made the drive-by shooting punishment by the death penalty when they got it from California. You know what I'm saying? Then it ended up not being a drive-by shooting. So it's like all kind of shit that they really lied about. They really lied about. Paul Connick them. The shit. The extent that they do to secure convictions in Jefferson Parish, and they've been doing, and they still doing it. And and attorneys, they don't want to tap in my attorneys to reach a lot of them. Like, you got to really know how to fight JP, and you got to make them bitches work. You know what I'm saying? They racist, they corrupt. You know what I'm saying? And they know that. You know what I'm saying? They know that, and you got to really fight them because they gon', they're not gonna play fair. Anytime you go to the extent to create a computer system database that systematically excludes blacks from participating in jury selection, where qualified citizens involved, I mean, that's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? That's fucked up, and it been going on. You know what I'm saying? But like but once again, voter registration, all that shit, they play a part in all that shit because the same way that the blacks in these neighborhoods are not getting these questionnaires, it's the same way that their votes are being fucked up too. Not even saying that they really matter. You know what I'm saying? But we have to stand up for ourselves. We have to stop relying on them fucking people for to pass this law for this, pass that law for that, because at the end of the day, we passing laws against ourselves. That shit don't apply to them fucking white folk. We go run down there and pass that shit on us, on ourselves, man. Then look what we got now. 30 years later, all the debt row exonerations, all the people that's been wrong, all this is burling out of pot, burling over now. You know what I'm saying? Now they can't control it now. You know what I'm saying? But now it's getting younger and younger and younger and younger. You know what I'm saying? So they got problems. So we can't be worrying about, we got to tap into what our God-given talents and our God-given, ability, which he's given us already. Everybody, I got to go get a job. You know what I'm saying? You got people that cook. Will go cook in somebody else's restaurant. You know what I'm saying? And try to make it logic to you that that's better than being, being employed by yourself. What it is. Right. But that's the mindset that a lot of us in. Then the pandemic ain't making it no worse. They started locking this motherfucking out. And they forcing people to become become self-motivated, to become self-preserving.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you, what did the judge say to you when they sentenced you to death, man? How did that feel being young? How did that feel, man? Because not many people ever.
Man, but it's crazy because when they all right, it's when you go to trial on first degree murder, it's two phases. It's the trial phase, which is the guilt innocent phase, but they find you guilty, not guilty. If they find you guilty, then the following day is when the same jury will decide if you get a death, evidence to be put on. Like, you might have family members testify this, then it'll be if you get a death penalty, that. So I got found guilty on a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I cursed God, all that, I did all that. So the next morning I got the 2 death penalties, and like when I went to court, but I wasn't supposed to, when I got found guilty, my original sentencing date was January 31st. And if you look deep enough into my case, you'll see that was my execution date too. You know what I'm saying? It was bogus, but it's an execution date I had. And they moved everything up. They tried to use up that I had escaped out the parish and I was a security risk and all that. So they just wind up coming get me December 6th. Like, they come got me December 6th, like early. Like, look, you gotta go to court. This, that, and other. My trial lawyer, George response, he was so mad. You don't see me be on TV. That's my trial lawyer. He sold me out. Yeah, he sold me out. He lied saying that he had first degree murder. He had never had a first degree murder case before. Or no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So he lied. The best thing he did was object when he saw her striking them all in blacks. But yeah, he sold me out. He didn't even have no defense prepared or nothing. But anyway, the judge was like, the lawyer, he was in there. I had fired him when I got found guilty, but some kind of way he was still in there. So he come me like, look, they said you're a security risk. I'm just gonna waive sentence for you. This, that, and other. So I'm just looking at him like, the bounce a week. So the judge called my name, tell me stand up, and he read he said you was found guilty on whatever, I think it was 28. He was found guilty on 2 counts of first degree murder, and he said for the death of Mr. Gordon and Tamara Frazier, I sentence you to death by lethal injection by the manner set forth by the states. May the Lord have mercy on your soul. And when he said it, like, I instantly heard somebody shout, like pass out, and I turned around and my partner was bringing my mama out. Like, that really was the hurting part. Like, for my mama for to like hear that shit. Like, like, damn, like, like, we really sentence you to, like, I had 2 death penalties, like, to die by lethal injection.
And the whole time you knew it was self-defense.
Yeah. I knew it. Yeah, I knew it. But at the time they had me, I was going to trial in Jefferson Parish for something that they was trying to say was a drive-by shooting. They had another dude going to trial at the same time in Orleans Parish for something similar. So as these cases going across the news, it's kind of like a bet. Because, they're related, the convicts related to them over there. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like a bet going on. Then on top of that, the Monday before I start picking my jury, the triple murder happened in the Harvey Tunnel. You know what I'm saying? Supposed to be the gang related shit or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So even in the midst of all this, boom, I go to trial. I start picking my jury. Like, so it was already like, man, it was fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
So after you get sentenced to death, they send you straight to Angola on death row?
Yeah. When the judge sent me December 6th, December 7th, probably about 3 o'clock in the morning, I was in a police car with the lights on going straight to death row. I went straight to death row, like no non-stop, processed in straight to the 1-man cell, 23 and 1.
Now, what did that have on your mental at such a young age, man? You by yourself, death row. What's going through your mind and stuff like that, man?
I mean, really, it's like I wasn't never I wasn't never one of them dudes that felt like I wasn't going to jail. First of all, I knew what I was doing, and I knew, but I'm not gonna lie and tell you that I knew I was gonna go get 2 death penalties and bounce back. I'm not gonna tell you that. You know what I'm saying? But when I got in the cell, I can say this. My exact words to God was, I'm like, man, you know what? I'm like, man, if you bless me to go home, cool. I'm like, man, if you don't, that's cool too, because I know what I was out there doing, and I know what came with it. You know what I'm saying? I accepted that. I wholeheartedly accepted that. Like for real. Like, even in the midst of, like, it was God worked it out for me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He allowed things to happen that was out of my control. All I could do was do my part in his will on my end. And as you can see, it worked. You know what I'm saying? It all worked out.
Now you said you was on death row for 7 years. Did it take 7 years to get back into court?
No, like if it says, all right, I got on death row December 7th, December 7th, December 7th, 1995. I left January 22nd, 2003. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I had won a new trial in June 2002. But by them having to re-indict me and all that, the other 6 months I was still in the same cell. I was still on death row. It ain't like I went to population and waited 6 months, or none of that. You know what I'm saying? I still was in the same cell.
Yeah. So on death row, do you like see other inmates, or is it just isolated?
You in a cell 23, but I mean, you have like 10 other. On some tiers you got 15 cells. Some tiers you get the tier I was on at first, you got 11. And like, when I come out, the hours rotate. You come out for your hour, use the phone, get dudes ice and water, but they in their cell though. Anytime you come out your cell, you by yourself. Anytime you go to like hospital call outs, you go by yourself, shackled head and feet. They have a dead man walking, like can't no other offenders be around you. Like you gonna go to the doctor like 2, 3 in the morning. Like you'll never be around nobody. Even when you go in the yard, like you in pens. You in pens. You gotta shoot ball over the fence. You gotta throw the football over the fence. Like everything is just, you don't do nothing even when you go visit. When you go visit, you behind some chicken wire shit. You shackled head and feet. When you go they start letting us getting contact visits. When you go on contact visit, you still got on shackles. You know what I'm saying? You still got on shackles and stuff. So, it was never a time where where you not, restrained. You know what I'm saying? It's like we wasn't allowed to do nothing, go to school, none of that. They tried to let us go to school, but they didn't want to, let us take even one handcuff out the right or none of that shit. Like you just was up there. Like either you gonna get on your shit or you gonna die up here.
Yeah. So once you got back into court, what happened with that, man? Did they deny you? Did they?
No, I went on my direct appeal.
Okay.
I went on my direct appeal, and how appeal is written. The appeal is written exactly how the trial is, from the jury selection, opening arguments, defense. State defense, state closing, rebuttal. That's how it's written. And by me winning in voir dire, which is jury selection process, they stopped right there because it was the courts really like for constitutional violations and shit like that. They really go show a lot of attention to them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's dealing with your constitution, civil rights and shit like that. So because they don't know how far it's gonna go. You know what I'm saying? So they're prepared to give it some type of attention to see if it carries some type of weight. And I'm not gonna lie to you, some of them that carry weight don't get no plea. You know what I'm saying? Some that don't carry the weight get the plea. You know what I'm saying? It's you never know how it's gonna go or how that swing gonna be going when you file your appeal. But by me winning on my direct appeal on my in a voir dire, they didn't even rule on nothing else, because you can't, during jury selection process, when you strike in a jury, you can't use race, gender, marital status, sex, gender, nothing like that. And that's what she did when she said I'm striking him because he's the only single black male on the panel. You know what I'm saying? And the Supreme Court took note that even though because see, my lawyers, they dogs, bro. They dogs, bro. And they broke down all the jurors, like their personal information, like kids, where they, everything about her statement. Everything about the district attorney's statement, they used for the breakdown the juries that I had on did they still around the area where the crime at, where the homicide happened at, because she was trying to say that she was striking this one because they live around here, but then come to find out she struck people, she was letting people stay on the jury that stayed next streets over, like in the next neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? This dude here stayed, this shit happened in Monroe, this dude stayed way in Harvey. Russell Brown, you know what I'm saying? So by her doing that, it negated them having to rule on everything else. So I couldn't bring up the prosecutorial misconduct. I couldn't bring up Evelyn Williams lying, the perjury and all that shit. I couldn't bring up none of that because they stopped it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, okay. So you won your first appeal, right? And
that won my first appeal.
So did your life sentence, your death sentence get took back to something else?
I had both of my death penalties got I got both of them got vacated and I got remanded back to trial. I won 7-0. You know what I'm saying? I beat them 7-0, so I got remanded back to Jefferson Parish for them to retry me. Now keep in mind, from the date of the reverse, they had a year to retry me, right? I didn't go back to trial the first time until 2006, which is over 4 years. When I had the mistrial, they had another year from the mistrial to bring me. They bought me in 2010. You know what I'm saying? But I couldn't argue none of that because of them winning, you know. Yeah. I couldn't, they cut it all off. Like, you know, they didn't know what they did, though.
How frustrating is the mistrial? Like you didn't self-defense, then you get a mistrial. How does it feel? No, you gotta do this all over again.
Man, it's frustrating because especially when you bust them cheating. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? To bust them cheating to win the mistrial and to still get, you know, injustice placed upon you, knowing that you were supposed to drop the charges from second degree to manslaughter because I'm in trial. My witnesses here. I'm ready to testify. Everybody here, all my people here. They done flew in from out of town. They done took off work. All my people here. And for you to have a meeting Friday before we start picking the jury that Monday before I even dress out for trial, behind the same thing, and you lied to the judge and tell him you have it. So if you must have had ulterior motive because the judge told you in chambers before y'all even came out. If you don't have this, let me know now. I'm gonna give you a continuance because I'm telling you, we get to this part of the trial and they ask for it, you don't have it, I'm gonna grant the defense a mistrial. Bing, you not ready. All you gotta do is say, come on, let's go to trial. You know we about to ask me to duck this gun. You know we about to ask for it. Oh, I ain't got it. Mistrial. Oh, yeah, I get to start over. That's what they gave him, and they wasn't supposed to give him that. They gave him an opportunity for to stack the deck against me even more than he had stacked it already. But look how God worked though. Even when I went to trial in 10, they had kept setting me back, and I had wrote District Attorney Paul kindly explained to him, like, you know, every time my attorneys try to reach a plea bargain, you know, it's always the male victim, you know, contestant, you know, what's going on. I'm like, man, a female victim, which is, you know, was my sister at the time, you know, they wanted me to take responsibility for my act, and I did that. You know what I'm saying? I did that. We correspond. You know, I still talk to Myra. You know, when she come down here, she still come see me. So it was never no, you know what I'm saying? So when some kind of way the judge get the letter or whatever, so they called me in court. So they tried to give me 80 years. I offered to plead guilty to 2 manslaughters, ran concurrent. So the district attorney tried to get me to take 80 years, ran consecutive. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, ain't no way in hell. I'm like, man, we still got the same trial, and I went to trial.
Yeah. Right.
I went back to trial. They retried me again after the mistrial. 4 years later, in September 2010, and they found me guilty of manslaughter and negligent homicide. Like I said, they gave me 40 years and 5 years for my sister-in-law, but they ran it consecutive. And you know, it really was a miscarriage of justice because I was a first offender, regardless of what the conviction was. I still was the first offender, and the sentence was vacated. You know, the sentence was overturned, reversed, and vacated. So, you know, for them to still, you know, for me to testify, you know, I didn't rely on, you know, Reagan. You know what I'm saying? May he rest in peace, bro. He just died but I didn't rely on him. I testified. I testified to my defense.
Mm-hmm.
So for them to go from a sentencing range of 0 to 40, and then when Reagan objected to it and told him it was excessive, his words was take it up with the appellate court. You know what I'm saying? So it really was, I really was like the one that got away. Like even through the system, like everybody felt like I got away or some shit like that.
How what kind of questions what the DA asked you doing when you were testifying? Like, was any hard questions?
Yeah, you gotta, his job is to tell out my defense. His job is to make me look like I'm lying, in front the jury, to make me look like the worst type of, to make me look like an animal. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he said in one of his interviews. He said, Edward Harris got away with murder. He's an assassin, nothing more, nothing less. And how you get me being an assassin from me defending myself, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But like he was asking me stuff like, he kept trying to get me for the say that I killed him. You know what I'm saying? It's so much wordplay go along with being, with that system shit. Like it's a big difference than, him getting me to admit that I killed those people, that I kill them, is different from me defending myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So by him keep asking me, did you kill those people in broad daylight? It wasn't no self-defense and this, that, and that. He keep hollering and hollering and hollering. You know what I'm saying? So, in the midst of him hollering, I just start crying. You know what I'm saying? And and ask the judge, like, man, what it don't matter what he say, I'm still gonna answer I'm not gonna answer any fast, any none of that. You know what I'm saying? So, but it was really, a strategy. And, it worked because the judge, told him for the don't do the shit. And he got mad and just ended his questioning of me. So it all worked out.
Want to make money with a YouTube channel, man, go over to hotboyjesse.com, get the course, read over the course. I tell you everything that you need to know for YouTube. Then once you get the course, I'm gonna show you how to make a video, how to edit. I'm gonna show you how to do keywords, research, titles, tags, descriptions. I'm gonna show you how to upload, when to upload, everything to get views and big money.
So on the third trial, what happened? Like, you got the 40 years, or they took the 40 years back and gave you something else?
But before, like I was saying, before I even went to trial, like I said, it was like, I was at a conflict with one of my attorneys because, a lot of, like, let me put it like this. When I was on death row, it was like 111 dudes up there. You know what I'm saying? 111 other guys up there. And it was only a few that actually had like a defense to get to go back to trial, get a plea or whatever, and go home, opposed to having a rape and murder, a robbery and murder, or 2 murders. There's no defense for it other than insanity or some shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? There's no defense other than you didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? But if you done it, you really have no defense but to try to get a life sentence or to try to get some crazy ass number of years, 400, 500, some stupid ass years like that. And believe it or not, dudes take that shit.
That's crazy. Yeah. So, what act was you under? Like, how did you get out in under the 40 years?
I was under Act 138. Which required me to serve half of my sentence. Okay. And I had a 40-year sentence. I had to do half of the 40 first, which was the 20. And then I had to do I did 2 years and something on a year and something on a 5-year sentence. But then I told you they wind up, bamboozling with a charge with my son, with a conspiracy charge, and I had to take I really was in a position to have to take the 10 years. You know what I'm saying, for the charge. Because if I don't take it, even though it was bullshit, but if I don't take it, you're going to bring up the homicide. Jury's not that knowledgeable how deep the shit get. And, they'll probably think they're doing me a favor by finding me guilty, all right, of a lesser offense. But at the end of the day, the 5 years will turn into 15 years flat. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I took the 10 because I had I was already working at the Alexander Airport. You know what I'm saying? So I really was, out and about all day anyway, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, the 10 will give me another year, so I'm like, just give me the 10 and I'll fuck with it when I get home. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And even in the midst, even after after I played out, my son went to trial, and he appealed it. The appellate court come back and said that they threw it out, saying that it was never a conspiracy. It was only a conversation between two parents and their son, and they never sought to give him any type of advice to evade justice or any type of information to to uh to beat the murders or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Without saying too much, because I don't want you to, mess up your son appeals. But can you tell the people, what your son end up going to jail for or anything like that?
He went to jail for two counts of murder, two secondary murders.
Yeah.
His friend got shot. His friend got shot. And he brought his friend to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? He brought his friend to the hospital, and they his friend, to get a plea deal, his friend, lied and said that he was out there. You know what I'm saying? So, that's what that's what we're dealing with right now. You know what I'm saying? But once again, that's the same DA that I beat in a homicide that come right back and give my son a 2 life sentence. And his whole trial really was based on me. What his dad was doing, what his dad, all the, the shit with me. It wasn't really about the evidence that, that they was supposed to have.
Yeah, payback, huh?
Yeah, that's all it was, payback. You know what I'm saying? But he, he in a good position. He have the non-unanimous verdict shit going on. So, we good, but he gonna be good. That's really gonna be another part of my legacy. I'm gonna get him home, inshallah. He'll be home.
Yeah, man. Hope
my nephew, I got a nephew in Atlanta, locked up too for a homicide he didn't commit. You know what I'm saying? So I got some fighting going on, but I'm built for the truck, so I ain't tripping.
Yeah, man, real talk. Now, how did the NAACP help you out, and how did they get involved and find your case and all that?
Man, bro, Benjamin Gershawn Cohen, bro, I love him, bro. He got on my case fresh out of law school. Like, I was his first client. You know what I'm saying? His first appeal in the appellate court. He the youngest. Why he picked that issue. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what made him pick it. He's real intelligent. Like, he's real smart. Like, he do a lot of classes, a lot of speaking engagements, a lot of shit dealing with, law and shit. He real, like Guantanamo Bay. He was on that. You know what I'm saying? That shit Guantanamo Bay down. He was on that lawyer panel. So, he got he got some big cases. You know what I'm saying? They could Google him. But he the youngest.
What's his name? What's his name one more time?
Benjamin Gershawn Cohen.
Okay.
Benjamin Gershawn Cohen, Clyde Stanford Smith, Rachel Connor Jones, Richard Burt, Cormac Boyle. Who else? I had Martin Reagan.
So
I'm leaving out.
Oh, go ahead.
It's good. It'll come to me. I had good help, bro. I was blessed to have the help I had, bro.
Did you write to them, or they just found your case?
They found my case, and see, at the time, I was, keep in mind I was 18. You know what I'm saying? So I was still new to a lot of the law. So it's like when you, I guess you could say, like, when you man, Lord, what you saying, bro? Again, bro, I was thinking about
when damn, I fucked up. When I was trying to see, did he find your case, or
that was you wrote it?
Right. Yeah.
What happened was he found it.
Yeah.
He found it. You know what I'm saying? Because it was, like I said, it really was a railroaded case from the gate. You know what I'm saying? I was 18. They knew the dude had knocked on my mama's door. They knew he had went by my grandmother's house looking for me. So they knew all that shit. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't get, they tried to get, people. They couldn't get not one person for the city. Where in the midst of him saying that he was going to do IRVIN, this, what IRVIN said. You know what I'm saying? Because every time I was hearing this shit, I'm like, bro, Like,
Mm.
I don't even know what dude talking about. Like, I never put nobody in my business. Like,
Yeah.
but he did though. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere he went, I'm gonna tell him I'm gonna kill him when I see him and all this type of shit. So he had me hot.
Mm.
But
So
but in reference to back to Ben though, Ben like I think what Ben was 25. Ben was 25. I was 19. And like we used to go back and forth a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like we had stronger evidence showing that the prosecutor misconduct and the shit that Judge Melvin Zeno and the bailiff was doing. Like they never was supposed to go back in the deliberating room once the jury went back there, and they knew that. You know what I'm saying? Under no circumstances was they supposed to go back there, or even knock on the door without even calling court back, and bringing the lawyers and attorneys back, bringing the attorneys back in to know what and to bring the jury out. They still wouldn't go in there, but they still was back there. Telling them that I'd escape and all this other shit. So, there's a lot of shit gonna be in my documentary that, it's really like my documentary is different, but because I'm not, it's different because I'm different. My whole situation different. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to, I bust somebody's ass because he knocked on my Muhammad door like any man would, or any female would, any human being gonna protect it, especially their mama.
yeah.
That goes without saying.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, just I don't know, bro. I just really just stay focused. I just stay focused and just, embrace all the obstacles. But I'm blessed though. So I mean, I done been to the bottom and I use that for motivation every day. You know what I'm saying? It can't get no worse than where I've been at already.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've been to the bottom already. There's really no way up for. It's really no way but up for me to go.
Mm-hmm. Right. Now, can you talk about the escape?
Yeah. Man,
Like.
I wouldn't. Let me say this, bro. I take no credit for it. I didn't plan it, bro. I just happened to be the smallest one standing by the window, bro. You know what I'm saying? When they got the window open, bro. I stayed gone. We stayed gone for 3 days. Me and Vamp, me and Stanford Board, and we stayed gone like the whole time. Like, that was like, we was beefing on the street before we come to jail. Like really, like really at each other. Like, and we wind up, he wind up being the first one to come see me on that road. He wound up really, being a real bro to me. You know what I'm saying? And I still fuck with him to the day. You know what I'm saying? He pull up, holler at me, from all that from, to where we at now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Can you kind of detail like how it went down? Or no?
Yeah, it's over. The dude had like, man, he was on like some robbery shit, bro. Him and the dude from out Kennedy was the other guy. He was going to North Carolina, but some kind of way he ended up with this dude here in Kenner on a robbery and wind up going to somebody's house, which led to a home invasion and all this and that. So he really facing like about 200-300 at the least. You know what I'm saying? Because he'd have been up the road probably 5 times already. You know what I'm saying? So he really knows his own, but he never told nobody nothing. But at the time they was smoking on the tip, and they had the little, the big lighters, that thing that strike against the striker, it unwinds. You know what I'm saying? It unwinds. And we would be wondering, like, we get the power lighter, because the power lighter be supposed to keep it for a week. We get the power lighter Tuesday, that bitch on the table, spring gone. But don't nobody know what's happening. But he was taking he had cut he made a square wrench out of one of the locker boxes, like using a thing off the lighter for the saw it. They make a square wrench. And by the big window, they had 4 bolts at the bottom. But the bolts was tack welded, just a little tack weld on the end. So we took the little toothbrush with the thing for it and sawed the tack welds off and used the wrench to take the screws out, take the bolts out. And the window come open. When he first slid to, like, because it was in divider, like the little divider windows. When they first slid it, I'm the smallest one, and I'm looking at it like, well, fuck, they can't give me it for 6 months. Fuck, I done been locked up already for that. Fuck, And I went out the window. And when I went out the window, everybody else came. But Harry Lee, he made a deal with us because he couldn't catch us. He couldn't catch me and Vam, so he said we turn ourselves and he wasn't gonna charge us. So he didn't. You know what I'm saying? But they had dropped Vam charges while we was on the run.
Oh yeah.
That he dropped his charges.
Damn, that's crazy.
That he dropped his charges, bro.
Man, I probably still been trying to be gone.
Man, I told him that, bro. When he told me that, we looking at the news, and they would say one of the escape me charges was refused. He said, man, they dropped my charge. I said, man, that ain't part of the plan. That wasn't part of the plan when we come out here, man. I'm on murder. You on murder, man. Come on, man. That wasn't part of the plan.
Yeah.
But it all worked out. I thank God how it worked out, bro. I ain't mad. I ain't bad nobody, bro. I thank God for everything, that he bestowed upon me. Like, I accept it. You know what I'm saying? I accepted it then. You know what I'm saying? I was never bitter about it. I was only bitter about the system not, and I couldn't be mad for them. I couldn't be mad at them expecting them to really give me justice. Fuck, I'm black. You know what I'm saying? So that's just, it really, you really killed, it really was, you made it seem like you was so for the families, but you really wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Even after the when I had the mistrial in 06, like I told you, me and Tamara's sister, Tasha, we always stayed in touch. Even when I was on death row, we always, because she had a baby and her daughter, like, she thought, her daughter was for me all the way up until like, till she was like 8 or 9 or something like that. So my people, like, she around my people and shit. So it was never not like my people, like, they always accepted her. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. So I wanted to ask you, Oh, how did your rap sheet change from like when you was on death row till you got your 40 years? Like,
my rap sheet when I had the death penalty, it had zeros on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zeros on it.
Yeah, zero. Yeah, zero. No, I'm lying. It had 1,000 years.
1,000 years.
Yeah, it had 1,000. It had 2,000 year sentences.
Damn.
That's what it had.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it ain't had death penalty on it. It just had 1,000 years.
Okay. When you got it back, how long did it? How long have you been locked up?
When I got my what?
The 40 years.
Oh, I ain't been locked up 16 years.
Okay. So
I've been locked up 16 years. Like, it was like I went to trial with 16 years credit in.
Yeah.
Like I just got locked up that day with 16 years credit in. Like, so and it's like when they came back with the verdict, the first time after they read the instructions and stuff, they see they're about to deliberate. So they put me in the holding tank. So probably about 30 minutes later, they were like, man, they got a verdict. They got a verdict in dog. I was in Division D. So I'm like, damn, already? So we go back in there. So Reagan was like, look, they want the instructions again on manslaughter and negligent homicide. And the jury won't want to bring the gun in the deliberating room, the gun that the dude had on him. He said, so we about to meet about that right now. So they were going back and forth about the gun. So the judge was saying he never let it go back. So my lawyer like, well, damn, it's law that, the jury is allowed to review any piece of evidence that's in the state's custody. So they wound up letting it go back there. So Ben read the instructions. So I go back, boom, like an hour. About 2 hours later, they come call me saying they had a verdict. Go in there, stand up. So he got the paper from the jury foreperson. He looked at it. I'm looking like, you still trying to get a read on how this shit about to go. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So he he said, is this the jury's decision? So the jury foreperson like, yeah. So he said, look, there'll be no outburst from either sides of the court, So so he gave it to the clerk of court. He said, clerk of court, read the verdict. So the clerk of court, she said, on count 1, we find the defendant, Edward Irvin Harris, guilty. And she just stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Like, brother, she stopped for so long. My son, the one that's in jail now, he started crying. My little brother started crying. Like, you know, my people was like that. That's how long it stopped before she said manslaughter.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And when she
Yeah.
said manslaughter, I hugged Regan. And he like, man, that's bullshit. He like, we gonna appeal that, man. He said, man, it's supposed to be self-defense. But I'm saying to myself, like, man, you could do what you want. I go home in max 6 years. I go home in max 6 years and do that bit of this, man. I'm not tripping on no nothing. Like, you know, you can
Yeah.
do what you want. I'm not tripping. But I know one thing, man. I go home. I'm going home. I know for sure I'm going home. And that's how I
Yeah.
looked at it. You know what I'm saying? I had 6 years off when they found me guilty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
So, yeah. Yo.
So how was it coming home, man, after all those years, bro? Like, how was it for you and your family and stuff, man?
Like, really, bro, my family, like, you know, my mom and dad passed 20 months apart. You know what I'm saying? 07 and 09. You know, all my grandparents, fuck, I'm 47.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? My grandparents, no grandparents, everybody, like, you know, I got brothers, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, they in their own land, and, you know, for whatever reason, you know, we don't really holler, like, you know, like one of them I do, you know what I'm saying? The one that deal with it than me.
Mm-hmm.
He a deal with it than me. We got the same daddy, like, you know, I fuck with him, but my other daddy's son, like, I don't, you know, we never did.
Yeah.
You know, it's sad. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
fuck, I ain't kissing no ass. Like, you know, I did the time. I ain't gonna do no time for no fucking robbery or no fucking rape or no shit. I did time because the motherfucker knocked on my mama doing to her mama gonna kill me. So, you know, I feel like, you know, the support level should be different than if I'm coming home from a fresh rape charge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some shit like that, or robbery charge, or shit like that. Like, you know, not, you know, to each his own. Don't get me wrong, but that's, you know, that's not my thing, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't trip on that shit, man. I don't worry about it, because you know, I learned during my incarceration, bro, that the titles, past grandparents, bro, that shit suspect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In this era, even with parents, bro, that shit suspect. You know what I'm saying? That's why you hear some, you know, you'll hear some, you know, you'll hear dudes curse their mama like a dog. You'll hear females talk to their mama like a dog. You know what I'm saying? You might see 3 generations in the club, pussy popping and twerking and all this shit. Like, you know, that's the type of era we're in. And they're raising them, the girls, like that. You know what I'm saying? And they don't understand them same Liberty shorts they put on that little girl at 4 years old. She gonna want them at 5. She gonna want them at 6. She gonna want them at 7. And these little girls study developing. And it's like their mama, like getting them ready for the, like, you know, like, you know, get the bag. Like, you know, they chasing down that bag shit now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro.
Now that bag shit now, boy.
Did you get any news coverage coming home?
No, man. The people didn't even tell them, the victim families I was home or nothing. I told you I ran into dude daddy in Walmart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't they ain't tell nobody. They ain't tell him I was home, and I wound up getting in touch with Tasha on Facebook. Yeah. And she came down here. She came down here.
Yeah.
Which her people didn't really agree with, but you know, we would never own.
Did you get any threats from like they family or anything when you came home?
No, man, that's one thing I honestly, but my whole juice, I never had that problem.
Yeah.
Like I never had nobody, you know, call himself, checking me, ask me. Like, I ran into his partner. When I was in Concord. You know what I'm saying? I know he was up. He asked me about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I told him, he like, he said, man. He said, bro. He said, man, I ain't checking you or nothing, bro. He said, man, I just want to ask you, bro, like, you know, man, what happened? I said, man, he violated and I punished him. I said, man, he knocked on my mama doing to her mama was gonna kill me. He said, man, he wasn't like that, brother. He went to get loaded and shit, whatever. And that, you know, that's it. I ain't never had nobody like to ever ask me nothing about that. Like,
I seen your Instagram. You said, I mean, when I was reading the papers, they said he told the police and everything on you, bro. I was
Yeah,
like,
he
man.
told him. Yeah, yeah, when he was in surgery, like before he died, he told the people IRVIN shot him. He said IRVIN
Yeah.
shot me.
I'm like, ooh,
They
yeah,
called it
man,
dying declaration.
yeah. And that's probably the only reason they got you too, huh? Ain't nobody knew who it was.
I mean, they had the two witnesses. They had the two female witnesses, but you know,
yeah.
I couldn't. It's like for me to really prove that they wasn't out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It would have been going too far.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm at?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to like, you know, I had to really, you know, swallow it and just like, you know, but they was plan A and plan B. You know what I'm saying? They come, you know, plan B. You know what I'm saying? He always had the gun. You know what I'm saying? He always had the gun. You couldn't get around that fact he had the gun on him, and I always had the evidence that he knocked on my mama's door. But they wasn't trying to hear none of that shit, man. Them crackers wasn't trying to hear that shit, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why, you know, I don't have to sit on side my lawyers and, you know, they gotta tell me what the fuck to say. You know what I'm saying? I could say fuck Paul Koenig, fuck Doug Freeze, like they railroaded me, fuck them. Like straight like that. Like, you know, they can't see that. They gotta shy away from it and all that. No, man. I know what I have. I know what the fuck they did. They know what the fuck they did. You know what I'm saying? I stayed on 7 years, stayed on that road 7 years bad. Like really bad. I waited to die 6.5 years behind a motherfucker knocking on my mama door telling my mom he gonna kill me. You know what I'm saying? But you can send motherfuckers to water fight for some shit that don't even concern them. But you mean to tell me I can't protect my own family? It's a problem. I gotta go through all these channels. You know what I'm saying? Unless I'm white. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, you know, I just really had my mind set on just like, you know, Paul Koenig, them Delhi administration, buddy, you know.
Yeah.
That, but you know, a lot of them racist ass DAs come from Orleans Parish when Eddie Jordan went over there. Remember they tried to sue him. Them bitches come over in Jefferson Parish.
Yeah.
All them white DAs he got rid of, they came over in Jefferson Parish. You know what I'm saying? Jackie Maloney, Doug Freeze, all of them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's that's why it's big for me, bro, because I you know, I know so many sides of this shit. You know what I'm saying? I really like, come on, man, I sit in a cell fucking 23 hours a day for fucking 7 years flat. I ain't no fucking dummy, so what else I could do? I can't do nothing but think, read books, and pray. Yeah. And play chess. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but it's just, you know, I have to apply it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm at now. Like I done did the, oh, you should try this, oh, you should try that, oh, go get a job here. And I done all that shit already. I got my CDLs and all that. I know what God blessed me with. None of that shit gonna work because God blessed me with my own thing. You know what I'm saying? I know what I have. You know what I mean? And for me, and I know what I have to help people. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? I know what I have to help people, to help brothers and sisters that's incarcerated, that went through what I went through, that didn't have the legal team that I have. You know what I'm saying? That don't have, you know, DNA evidence to free them. You know what I'm saying, man? It's so many people that's locked up, bro, behind, you know, and of course, like, they don't even, it's so crazy, like, they don't even want to, man, you just gotta be on that swing when it's going your way. That's it, bro. You just gotta be on that swing going that way, because other than that, you really can't, you can't base it on law. You know, you can't base it on, you know, evidence. You don't know how it's gonna go. Yeah. Man, they had a dude, bro, when I got the deputy, when I got up, that dude named Dobie Williams, bro. He had an execution date, like, this is not the correct date, but I'm just showing you how it was. He had an execution date, like, say, January 13th, right? They had a ruling coming out, I think in Oregon, I think Oregon or New York. It was a big case coming out because it was dealing with mental disability. So, like I say, he had this ruling come out. This ruling gonna come out on the 13th. he got an execution date for the. He have an execution date for the 9th.
Mm-hmm.
He got an execution date for the 9th.
Mm-hmm. So
They didn't give him no stay. They kill him.
Yeah.
And had to come back and give him a posthumous reverse.
Damn.
So that's
crazy.
the type of shit that go on, bro.
How did that feel? Like every time somebody got executed, like how did that feel to you when you was on death row?
Man, they killed 5 dudes up there, bro. Antonio James, he was from New Orleans. Man, John Brown, white dude, cool white dude. He was from New Orleans. Leslie Martin was from one of the country towns. Felton Williams. Who else they killed up there, man? Yeah, they killed 5 dudes when I was up there, and it's like at that time, bro. It's like that's one day, really during that time frame when they bring them over there for the, from the time they bring them for to get their last meal and all that shit. Like, we're going on a hunger strike.
Yeah.
That was our way of, being in unity with, with the brother that's about to die. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't have brothers over there eat their last meal, and then a pump faked on them too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They done phone rung at the last minute.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's hard, bro, because it's like you seeing dudes walk that ain't never coming back, like that movie, like fucking what it is, Green Mile. Yeah. Like that's how that shit be. Like like when they have a dead man walking, like they talking about you. Like you ain't nobody, no other offender around you. All security around you from the time you get in the van to the time you get in the infirmary or wherever you going at. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Let me see what I will say, bro. Do you got any crazy stories about death row? Like some crazy stuff that happened?
Man, yeah, they had some dudes escape from up there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, about 5 of them. And man, they had, bro. They had some kind of way they had got some hacksaw blades in or whatever, and they had been sewing on the balls. They had been paying attention that the people hadn't been checking them, because they supposed to come hit them with the stick. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because we're on maximum security, pull to come shut, but they get lazy and shit. You know what I'm saying? They get comfortable and they played on that. You know what I'm saying? They went to seeing that they wasn't shit. They got hacksaw blades, cut the balls. You know what I'm saying? Dudes that was, made the coffee, whatever they had in the coffee, dude was asleep. You know what I'm saying? Shit, when we woke up, we had sticks in our face talking about get the fuck up. That's one time they ain't worried about handcuffing us, taking out the cell. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They felt like everybody knew, but really ain't no fucking body knew. But these dudes used to go fucking run on a fucking yard in the fucking freezing cold, barefoot, no shirt on. But nobody think these dudes getting ready to go. Yeah. Ain't nobody think they just working out, staying in shape. They on death row, they don't want to die fat and flabby on some shit. But all the while them dudes working, and they did too. Till they got to that, they got swamps around Angola. Like you gotta, you should have put all that in your mind and in your plan. You know what I'm saying? You ain't no boat that you was prepared to jump, die, or make it. I haven't went at that time, but you goddamn froze up in the people, caught you, beat the shit out of them, and brought them back.
They all froze up?
Yeah, ain't none of them get away.
Man, I would took my chance in that water, man. Okay.
Ain't none of them get away.
That's crazy, man.
And it was on death row. That's why I said I don't know what the fuck. You know what I'm saying? I
would have been in that water, boy. They would have showed me.
I don't know, but I don't know. I don't know. That's what I would have did. But I'm already out there and I'm about to die.
Yeah. Now, once you got your death sentences took back, they put you in general population, right?
No, when I get my death penalty back, I really was blessed to go to leave that bitch. I went in there. You know what I'm saying? I went in through the front door and I left out through the front door.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't, I was remanded. I was remanded back to the parish. Like my sentence was vacated. It was like I was processed out of Angola. Like I was discharged from Angola. You know what I'm saying? JP just was at the gate waiting to handcuff me again, and because I was remanded back to JP custody. So when Angola released me, JP picked me up. Like where they're right there waiting on me, handcuff me and brought me to the parish. So I went. So that's how I came. A lot of a lot of other dudes, they go on court order. You know what I'm saying? This shit have to wind up being sent up there and all that. But I knew I was leaving. I knew I wasn't coming back. So.
Yeah. Now, what other prisons did you end up going to, and what kind of experiences you had up in there, man?
I ain't really nothing. My whole jokes, I was cooling, bro. I was a barber. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was at Cottonport. That's why I got my barber's license at Cottonport. I went to Huntsville for like 2 weeks to process the LDC shit. And I was in Rapides Parish at work release in Alexandria. Okay. That's why I was in work release. I was not working at the airport. But other than that, man, I was the E-man. Yeah. But just overall, like I'm gonna stand up. Like I don't, I give respect. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna give respect. I ain't never had those type of problems. Like
so basically, you ain't had too many write-ups and stuff like that, right?
No, man. Man, when I went up for parole, I had what? I didn't have no write-ups. Yeah. I had none. I had got one, but the dude had threw it out because it was some bullshit. Me being late to a call out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But the dude knew I was going up for parole, so he ain't fuck with it. It was bullshit, dude.
How did that help you though in getting your time? Like, they have no write-ups help any of that?
Fuck, when I went up for parole?
Yeah.
Fuck no, man. That shit, man. Listen, bro. This is what happened in my parole hearing, bro. First of all, I had been when I first got to Cottonport, right? All right, in DOC, like for second feed up, when you go in the kitchen, they have all administration heads in there, like sitting at a table, like the clarification. One of the wardens gonna be in there, mental health, everybody. So when I go in there, when I got my rap sheet, like I told you, I had 16 years in. And by me being the first offender, I'm eligible for parole after completion of 1/3 of my time. And by me having the 45 years, I'm like a year and something overdue. So, but they got me going up for parole in like fucking 2020, some shit like that. So when I go when I go in there, the lady, Miss Miller's, she got her head down. So I see, excuse me, I need to talk to you about my rap sheet. So I see, man, my rap sheet is incorrect. She said, I'll be with you in a minute, but she never picked her head up. She right. She said, what your name is? I said, Edward Harris. And she just she dropped the pen and she just turned around. She said, I know who you are. She said, they know who you are here too. She said, you better dot your I's and cross your T's. She said, yeah, you the one that got away. I said, with all due respect, I don't believe in luck, man. I said, I was blessed. I said, I didn't get away. I said, the law is the law. I said, I defended myself too. She was like, yeah, whatever, this, that, but this same lady wound up being my biggest advocate, bro, because when I started dealing with getting the parole shit straight, regardless if she liked me or whatever, she still had to, take care of my business. So I was in a program. I was in a club called Juvenile Awareness where we deal with, kids coming off the street, troubled kids. We put on skits for them. We have a question and answer period where they can ask us anything about our charges that we, they can ask us anything really. You know what I'm saying? So, and by us by them seeing me interacting with these kids, like we hands on with these kids, like to get in this club, you got to go through extensive, you got to go through some screening.
Want to make money with a YouTube channel, man, go over to hotboyjesse.com, get the course, read over the course. I tell you everything that you need to know for YouTube. Then once you get the course, I'm gonna show you how to make a video, how to edit. I'm gonna show you how to do keywords, research, titles, tags, descriptions. I'm gonna show you how to upload, when to upload, everything to get views and big money.
Is there anything that we missed?
I mean, pretty much, bro. I just want everybody for the just, tune in, bro. My documentary coming soon, bro. Innocent and Guilty, 2017. You know my IG, Innocent and Guilty _2017, bro. I mean, Innocently _Guilty 2017. Check my IG out. I got some pictures up there. I got dude picture up there. A lot of people was fucked up with me about that because I put it up there, but like I really don't give a fuck about dude. And you really have to, see. You really have to feel how I feel to know, like, if I did something dumb, motherfucker gonna post me and put me up there. You know what I'm saying? That's just a staple of a motherfucker doing something dumb. You don't do shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You don't go knock on nobody mama doing, tell him you gonna kill him. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you ain't much living like that. So,
Right.
But like, yeah, I like in my documentary, I'm gonna touch on a lot of shit with Justin Parrish. I got a lot of, evidence, to, a lot of shit to expose. Black and white, real black and white, Paul Koenig, Doug Freeze, Frank Brandeisi, Karen Morgan, all of this could turn that plead apart, and railroad me, the retrials, the falsifying evidence and statements and police reports and all that shit. I'm gonna touch on all that. You know what I'm saying? A lot I ain't even touch on yet. But I'm giving everybody something to look forward to.
Yeah. So when can we expect the documentary?
Man, we think he said the beginning of, I want to say September.
Okay.
The first week of September, it should be ready. We should be ready to roll, bro. I got a couple more interviews coming up too. I'll keep you posted.
Okay, for sure, man. You got a good story, man. Cause not a lot of people come home from death row. So yeah,
right,
man. I'm
right.
glad you're home. Is there any advice that you want to give to like the younger guys or anything like that?
Man, definitely, bro. I have I'm just in the process. I just did the LLC of my mentoring program. Many Men Man Up Mentoring. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I understand, like them the dudes, like I used to be fucked up with them the dudes, but when they be young, coming to jail, when they telling and all that shit there. But at the end of the day, bro, them dudes come up around some bitch ass dudes, and that's what they know. You know what I'm saying? Everybody not, and it's crazy because, me and my partner was talking, bro, and we get on some serious shit sometimes. Well, a lot of the time when I'm talking to him. And he was like, man, these fucking white folks got us under a whole administration and niggas don't even realize it. Like, they done forced us to put ourselves under our own administration and they penalizing us. They reaping the benefits from it. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we've been reprogrammed to see and don't see. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? To hear and don't hear. You know what I'm saying? And, we programmed to, we can't tell them people that the dude, Miss Diane's son, kill old lady around the corner or whatever. We can't do none of that because we under a different administration. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad but true. It's sad but true. And I mean, it's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, when it hits home, it hits home. And that's when the reality sink in. Now, now it's the line now between keeping it real or keeping it real or you just doing some bitch ass shit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of dudes don't want to stand up, but but back to what you asked me, like as far as like with the youngsters, bro, it's, to be honest with you, bro, it's really nothing that I can say. Mm-hmm. They have to see the pictures on my Instagram. They have to, really visualize what me and you've been talking about for the past 2 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To know that when they squeeze that bitch, that one time they squeeze it, they could be gone for the next 50 years in a cell 23 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So they really don't, but you got to keep in mind, bro, the government is promoting all that. They promote all the shit, with this LGBTQ people, you know what I'm saying? And to each his own again. But by the same token, when you reconstructed law to accommodate a specific group of people that chose that, chose to live that lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? And they have that choice. But don't tell me that don't tell me I gotta let my son go in there with this motherfucker dressed like a fucking woman, knowing he a fucking nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't tell me that. Cause I'm sure not gonna handle you like no female if you play with my son in the bathroom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the law fucking it up, bro. You know what I'm saying? They tried juveniles. You know what I'm saying? They tried juveniles, but how hypocritical is the law? You try juvenile as an adult, but they can't do nothing as an adult. Nothing. Right. Drive, get liquor, go, nothing. They can't do nothing, but yet you've convinced society that you have to try these juveniles as an adult. I mean, at the end of the day, look at the environment that they've been brought up in. Section 8, all this shit. Look at where they have to go at. They have to go in projects. They have to go in dilapidated housing, and shit like that in order to just to really survive. Then their babies having babies. They don't really, they only doing the parenting that they know, and their parent probably was a fucking baby, So that's what we dealing with now, bro. So the dudes, but they know what's happening, bro. They know it turned into survival now. You know what I'm saying? It turned into survival now. And like I always say, I don't condone. People be like, oh, God forbid a baby get killed or whatever. It's like, don't nobody intentionally set out to go kill no baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody set out the intention to go kill no baby, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you came around here and shot up these people's house, and you come your ass back around here and go to this party, and I know you at this party, I'm coming to this party. You went around there, you know what I'm saying? Keep in mind, it's not my intentions but look at what you just did. So my mind is not on nothing but you. I seen you and I'm hitting at you, and you done ran across this baby, and now I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? And keep in mind, I'm not condoning it. Don't get me wrong, but that's the reality of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the reality of it. And they don't have no type of, they don't have no type of programs, for the youth. You know what I'm saying? They don't have nothing, and that's what I want to do. I want to establish, like, I'm a barber. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do, teach them the dudes how to cut hair. You know what I'm saying? How the business aspect of it, like, I can give them what I got. I can use my, what I've been through to deter them from making the decisions that I made. And like I always say, like that shit don't happen overnight. It go with the lying, it go with the stealing, it go with running away, it go with getting a gun, it go with shooting a gun, then it go with getting robbed, then it go with killing, then it go with jail or death. That's how it goes. There's no in between.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man. Appreciate that, man. Hey, if you want to come back on, like, right before your documentary drop, man, so you can get some more exposure to it, just let me know. And I appreciate you for doing this interview. You told me about the boxing guy. Like, who is he again?
Oh, he did 30 years. He Troy Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah.
He got a couple number one fighters. Like, he been like, and that's crazy. The day that me and you first had talked, me and him was at the barbershop early, and he was talking to two little dudes that I think he trained. He probably was training, but it was outside or whatever talking. And he was telling them who I was, and they didn't even know, his story. You know what I'm saying? He was like, man, this motherfucker if a motherfucker take our story, bro, he said it'd be a box office. He said, man, he had like 100 and something years or some shit, but he wound up being one of the, like, he a well-known trainer, but he don't get the credit. He got the #1 fighters. He, you know what I'm saying? He got Roy Jones, you know, where he at. So, but he like, yeah, he's somebody we interview. Yeah, I told him. Roger LaCash too, I holler at him.
Yeah.
That's Antoinette Frank fall partner, co-defendant.
Yeah, I don't even know what it is.
Remember they had the murders in the East, man, a while back. At
Man,
the Chinese people at the restaurant.
I'm from up north, bro. I ain't from.
All right, with the police. Oh, with the police, man. The police.
I'm gonna look it up.
Antoinette Frank. Yeah, look it up.
Okay.
And he got a lot of shit going on in court right now too.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he got a lot of shit going on as far as with new evidence coming out that her brother, it was her brother with her. Well, he had been saying that dude that he wasn't the one with her. You know what I'm saying? But then, you know, the bodies under the house and shit. He all right. You know what I'm saying? Like they painted him as, you know, being some other shit, but he's starting to, you know, they took him off of that. We had won a new trial. He took the new trial back and just gave him a life sentence. So that's what he fighting now.
Okay.
But I told him I hollered at him through it. So he'll holler at you, bro. Some good content for you, definitely.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I'm trying to get all these stories out, man, because they ain't heard, man. And
right, bro. There's a lot of them, bro. I know a lot of them, bro. I'm gonna keep you some content, bro. I got some. Yeah. You know, I got my other partner was on death row with me, Ryan Matthews. He was exonerated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Me and him close. He always come. You know, we go eat and shit, like, you know.
Hey, man. That's what's up, bro. I appreciate you for taking your time out, you know, doing this. I guess, man, if you want to come back on any other time, just let me know, man. If you want to, you know, speak a message or anything, bro, just let me know, and I'm gonna be there as soon as you hit it.
All right, bro. I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you too.
All the time, bro. One.
Be safe out there, man.
You too, brother.
Want to make money with a YouTube channel, man, go over to hotboyjesse.com, get the course, read over the course. I tell you everything that you need to know for YouTube. Then once you get the course, I'm gonna show you how to make a video, how to edit. I'm gonna show you how to do keywords, research, titles, tags, descriptions. I'm gonna show you how to upload, when to upload, everything to get views and big money.